but even I could not have been ready for the scale of what we witnessed at these games. The past 8 years, I've witnessed the whole cycle of life-changing injury, evacuating soldiers and William and I, and looking out here today, it is clear to see we are not alone. You have created an...
Harry's standing at the podium, delivering a formal speech to thousands. Then Meghan walks onto that stage without warning. No invitation, just bold confidence. For years, this was the moment Harry would hand her the microphone. Every single time. But not tonight. His grip tightens. He keeps speaking. She's left standing there, smile frozen, waiting for recognition that never comes. The crowd's response? Complete silence. And what happened next reveals something way bigger than one awkward moment.
So here's the moment everybody keeps dancing around, but nobody's really talking about. The mic.
This revealed cracks in their relationship that won't stay hidden anymore. Stay with me because the real story is what came after. But before we dive into what really went down that night, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because what I'm about to show you goes way deeper than what you saw in headlines. Trust me, you won't want to miss the details that came out after this moment. Hit that notification bell so you catch every part of this story. Prince Harry was in the middle of a carefully structured speech.
You ever see a couple smile for the cameras and still look like they're living two different lives? That was Harry and Meghan at Kevin Costner's charity event.
His voice was steady, his posture relaxed, every word deliberate. The room was respectful, with all eyes locked on him. Then, out of nowhere, Meghan Markle stepped onto the stage without being announced. She moved straight toward him with confidence that naturally drew attention. But the room didn't gasp in admiration. It paused in surprise. A guy in a purple jacket, part of the security team, was actively trying to block her path. She went around him, simply went past him, as if continuing on her path.
Screaming matches, death threats, and a bitter split from the royal family. Harry and Meghan are pulling back.
When she reached Harry, she placed her hand on his back. It was the same gesture she'd used countless times before, the one that always meant one thing: give me the spotlight. For years, that touch was his cue. Every single time, he would step aside, hand over the microphone, and let her take center stage. It was their established pattern. But not this time. His grip tightened around the mic. His posture straightened. Instead of stepping aside, he kept speaking. That small refusal.
Now here's a video of Meghan watching Harry as he's giving out his award, and you can tell she is not happy.
Barely noticeable unless you were watching closely, changed something in real time. The atmosphere shifted from respectful to awkward in seconds. And then came the response. Complete silence, no applause, no polite claps, not even a murmur of acknowledgement. Meghan stood beside him, her smile steady, expecting some kind of recognition. But nothing came. Seconds felt endless, growing heavier with each moment that passed. The tension wasn't just building, it was getting thick.
This was at the Kevin Costner event that Meghan and Harry attended. Just have a look. She's actually in the background.
The quiet landed harder than any boos ever could. This wasn't hostility, it was indifference. And in the royal world, indifference is a difficult response. You could see his hand gesture at one point, subtly pointing toward her, signaling her to back off. He didn't say a word, but the signal was clear. Meghan shifted her weight, glanced at him one more time, then slowly started retreating toward the sidelines. The walk back wasn't long, maybe a few steps, but each one looked heavier than the last.
So here's the moment everybody keeps dancing around, but nobody's really talking about the mic. That tiny...
Every step away from that podium felt like an acknowledgement that the dynamic had shifted. People who witnessed it later described the air as notably tense, the kind of atmosphere where everyone senses the moment felt off, but no one dares to move. But that moment of silence, that was only the beginning. By the next morning, something interesting happened. The awkward footage from that stage, it had disappeared from major outlets. You couldn't find it anywhere in mainstream coverage.
Have you ever seen a single moment so tiny, so ordinary, and yet so explosive that it changes everything in front of?
Instead, polished still shots showed up. Meghan smiling confidently, Harry standing beside her, both looking perfectly synchronized, like nothing unusual had occurred. The tension had been carefully trimmed out, replaced with images that reshaped the narrative. But social media was telling a totally separate story. Raw clips began surfacing online, showing what the cameras had actually captured. Meghan stepping up, the room going silent, Harry not passing the microphone.
When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle took the stage at Kevin Costner's charity event, everyone was expecting.
These short, unedited videos spread like wildfire across platforms, racking up millions of views within hours. The difference was noticeable. On one side, official outlets were presenting perfect harmony. On the other, uncut material was showing obvious tension. Two versions of the same event. Critics immediately questioned whether media was shielding Meghan from what could have been a significant PR challenge. Supporters pushed back, arguing the awkwardness was being exaggerated, that people were misreading body language.
It's like, where is the mic? Where is the mic? At one point she yelled, give me a f***ing mic, and they didn't give it to her.
But here's what stood out. The truth had been split in two. One version lived on television and in newspapers. The other was spreading across social feeds, being shared, discussed, and analyzed by millions. This split wasn't accidental. Royal coverage has always been curated, everyone knows that. But this time, the editing didn't just soften what happened, it reversed it entirely. If this moment got rewritten so thoroughly, how many other moments have been kept out of view?
Enough. Harry's acrid response as Meghan snatches the microphone out of his hand for her me speech.
The deeper you look, the more obvious it becomes. This wasn't just about one speech or one awkward encounter. It was about control over the narrative, about influence over public perception, and about the ability to shape what people see versus what actually happens. For years, there was a clear pattern. Harry would always give Meghan the spotlight. Every public appearance, every speech, every moment where she wanted to step forward, he would move aside. It was consistent, predictable even.
Meghan Markle and Harry thought it would be cute to pop in uninvited Kevin Costner's charity bash in Santa Barbara this weekend.
The dynamic was set. She commanded attention, and he supported from the sidelines. But that night on stage, something shifted. The pattern changed, noticeably. And it wasn't just a small shift that only a few people noticed. It was a boundary drawn in front of thousands, signaling what was happening beneath the surface. That single refusal to hand over the microphone revealed more than any interview or official statement ever could. For the first time in their public relationship, Harry didn't automatically defer.
Where is the mic? Where is the mic? At one point she yelled, give me a fucking mic, and they didn't.
He didn't step back, he held his ground. And in those few seconds, he revealed a shift in their private dynamic that had been building for a while. This wasn't just about a microphone or a speech. It was about influence, balance, and direction in their partnership. Insiders have been whispering for months that Harry has been asserting himself more often behind closed doors. The man who once seemed content to follow Meghan's lead in almost everything is reportedly wanting more balance in every situation. Friends describe him as increasingly frustrated.
It is coming out in the media now more and more that Meghan has failed her rebrand. And I think we can include
caught between loyalty to his wife and a growing need to reclaim some sense of his own identity and agency. The dynamic in their relationship, once leaning heavily one way, appears to be shifting. And that stage encounter? It was the first time the world got to see it happen, in real time. What makes Harry's situation even more complicated is his confusing royal status. Officially, he's stepped back from certain duties and responsibilities.
Picture this: Harry, calm and collected, standing at the podium, pouring his heart into a speech about...
He's no longer a working royal in the traditional sense. He stepped back from all of that when he and Meghan left the UK and moved to California. Yet, at select international events, particularly those with significant media coverage, he's still introduced as Prince Harry, with all the reverence and formality reserved for active members of the royal family. One day, he's handled like any other celebrity guest, seated among the general audience without special protocol. The next, he's given the full royal treatment.
So there she is. She's angry. Harry's trying to smile because he knows the cameras are there. He's been trained all his life to smile.
Complete with formal introductions and preferential positioning. These mixed signals create a strange kind of limbo that's difficult to navigate. He's neither fully inside the royal fold nor completely outside of it. He exists somewhere in between, and that gray area makes every public appearance unpredictable. And Meghan, standing beside him during these moments, feels even more like an outsider trying to find her way back into a world that's already continued without them. She doesn't have a title that carries the same weight or commands the same...
I'm honored to be here, and what you've done for the community, and also your...
automatic respect. She doesn't have the same decades of history or deep connection to the institution that Harry was born into. So when Harry gets treated with royal formality at certain events and she doesn't receive that same level of recognition, the contrast becomes noticeable. It highlights the gap between where they are now and where they used to be when they were working members of the royal family. That difference in how they're perceived and treated creates its own kind of tension.
This video went viral on social media this weekend as it shows the shocking moment when Prince Harry completely changes his expression from a
debating and staying invested in the story. Every appearance Harry makes becomes a guessing game for the media and the public alike. Will he be treated with full honors tonight? Will he be seated with other royals or placed somewhere less prominent in the venue? Will his title be used in formal introductions or quietly dropped from the program? That ongoing uncertainty is exactly the point. It fuels endless debates across social media and traditional news outlets, sells newspapers, and generates clicks, and guarantees that Harry and Meghan remain in the headlines week after week. The stage clash only made this underlying tension.
You are really Freddy, you're wrong.
Hey, Roman numeral 7.
More visible to anyone paying attention. When Harry didn't defer to Meghan in such a public way, refusing to hand over the microphone as he had done so many times before, it raised questions the palace didn't even need to ask out loud. Is he starting to prioritize his royal identity and the recognition that comes with it? Or is he simply seeking some kind of clarity in his position, trying to define himself in a situation that keeps shifting beneath his feet? One thing became clear that night to everyone watching.
The last thing I'm going to say is, unsurprisingly, those that wear the uniform, when they hang up the uniform...
The cracks in how they navigate this complicated situation, how they balance their old life with their new one, are visible now. There's no hiding the tension anymore. Behind all the public smiles and carefully coordinated appearances, the fiercest battles between Harry and Meghan aren't happening on stages or in front of cameras. They're happening over their children's future. Harry strongly wants his sons to experience the British traditions he grew up with.
Here we are.
What's your name?
My name's Harry.
What do you do, Harry?
What do I do?
His vision, Archie at Eton, walking the same historic halls he once did. For Harry, this isn't just about education. It's about heritage, maintaining a connection to the life he left behind, the customs and values that formed who he is. But Meghan has little interest in returning the children to the UK. She wants to raise them in California, far from the rigid royal structure. According to insiders, she's declined discussions about British schooling, not delayed them.
Peer support tent, and it was some peer supporters from LA County Fire Department, and man.
Declined them. The condition for even considering it? Appropriate concessions would need to be made first. Financial arrangements, security assurances, or other conditions that haven't been made public. To some observers, it doesn't look like genuine negotiation. It looks like conditions being set. And then there's the Oprah interview contradiction that many people seem to have forgotten. When Archie was born, Harry and Meghan told the media they didn't want to give him a title.
And it was some peer supporters from LA County Fire Department, and man, they were incredible. They
wanted him to live as normal a life as possible, away from royal pressures and scrutiny. They presented it as their conscious choice to protect their son. But then Meghan sat down with Oprah and told her the palace didn't give their son a title because of his skin color. She framed it as an institutional decision, not theirs. That accusation was impactful for the royal family. It sparked global conversations and controversies still echoing today. The contradiction raised serious questions about what really happened.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stole the show at California's 1805 Live Benefit concert, and it was pure Hollywood drama.
This tug of war has become symbolic of their entire relationship. Meghan appears to lead when it comes to private family matters, steering with firm resolve. But Harry is now showing signs of seeking more input. Friends describe him as quietly longing for ties to his past while feeling constrained by his circumstances, unable to give his children the experiences he values. Caught in the middle, their sons have become caught in a struggle between tradition and independence, between loyalty to the past and building a new future.
So she was snubbed by Hollywood. What's hilarious is that Meghan really did think, I'm told, that when she paid $12,000.
While the crowd only witnessed an awkward microphone moment, those close to the couple insist the real battles are happening far from any cameras. If Meghan's bold stage entrance made headlines, what came after was even more telling. Event organizers made a quiet but noticeable adjustment following the incident. Meghan was kept away from the spotlight for the entire remainder of the evening. She was escorted to a seat positioned to the side, close enough to be seen by cameras, far enough to deliver a statement.
Wife and I, come here.
Her role for the night had been downgraded, though no formal announcement was made. The shift was obvious to everyone watching, both in the room and following along through media coverage. Her designer gown, meant to impress and command attention, looked strangely ill-fitted under the harsh event lighting. Commentators and social media observers noted her tight expression throughout. Her smile appeared strained, not natural like in previous appearances where she seemed comfortable and in control.
Support tent, and it was some peer supporters from LA County Fire Department, and man.
While Harry continued mingling comfortably with other guests, moving through the crowd with ease, she sat stiff and stationary. She clapped at the appropriate moments, smiled when cameras pointed her direction, but was rarely approached or engaged by those around her. The contrast between how Harry was received and how she was handled couldn't have been more stark. As the night wore on, it became clear the audience and organizers had no intention of helping her reclaim any spotlight. For someone who typically commands attention and presence, who's known for her confidence in public settings, this indifference felt like quiet discomfort. Critics online commented on visible details. The strained laughter that didn't reach her eyes, the awkward posture as she sat alone, even how her jewelry caught the camera at certain angles. It all felt like an echo of past glamour rather than current relevance, like watching someone trying to hold on to something harder to maintain. This marked the first time she wasn't simply ignored or overlooked in a public setting. She was noticeably sidelined from the proceedings. The message had been sent, and it was received.
That's it, okay.
Whatever influence she thought she had in that moment when she walked up had diminished, and it was visible to observers. While Meghan experienced the aftermath of being sidelined, the palace was taking a different approach. Within hours of the event, contradictory headlines began appearing across different outlets. Some major papers framed Harry as a respected prince, treating him with the same formality as when he was a working royal in the UK. Articles described him with reverence.
Royal expert or palace press release ever could. You might have missed it if you blinked, but when Harry had the mic and didn't hand it,
emphasizing his royal heritage and status. Other outlets focused on the narrative that he's a man who stepped back from his titles, living separately from royal privilege. They described him as someone who stepped away from his former position. This wasn't sloppy or inconsistent journalism. It was strategic. By keeping Harry's exact role somewhat ambiguous, this creates ongoing speculation. Every event he attends becomes a topic of discussion for media and public alike. Will he receive full honors?
it showed. The body language was loud enough to drown out the music. Meghan leaned in, Harry leaned out. She tried to
be seated with other royals or placed somewhere less prominent. Will his title be used in formal introductions or quietly dropped from the program? That uncertainty is part of the dynamic. It generates discussions across social media and traditional news outlets, creates coverage, and ensures Harry and Meghan remain in the headlines week after week. They stay relevant whether the royal family officially welcomes them back or maintains distance. Meghan's presence becomes both a valuable asset and a challenge.
Pretty dysfunctional.
And what she said to me was, it's like this.
She attracts massive global interest, which benefits press coverage and engagement. Each appearance gets analyzed and discussed across platforms. But her distinctive public profile also means notable moments become instant headlines. Observers note that Buckingham Palace has learned from handling past royal situations. Instead of completely separating from the Sussexes, they've chosen to keep them in an ambiguous position. They remain relevant enough to maintain strong attention and interest.
He gave was towards Meghan. So here he's talking about, his friends that don't have.
The public stays invested in their story, curious about what happens next, yet they're kept distant enough to stay outside decision-making within the institution. They can't affect internal matters, shape policy, or leverage their position within the organization. It's a similar approach once used with Sarah Ferguson after her separation from Prince Andrew. She was never fully welcomed back inside the royal fold, but also never completely separated from it. She existed in that same gray area.
To go to catch him and she's like, Harry, Mike, give me the mic. And I literally feel that Kevin Costner, because of what happened last.
Close enough to stay relevant, separate from official duties. For Meghan, this unclear status is a challenging situation. Appearances get closely watched. Rumors get amplified across platforms. Decisions get discussed and examined from multiple angles. For Harry, it functions like a state of uncertainty. He's neither truly separate from his royal past, with all its expectations and traditions, nor fully embraced by the institution he was born into. Together, they find themselves in an ongoing cycle.
Cameras, lights, and a crowd that didn't quite know what to make of it. And Meghan, she tried.
Where the institution and surrounding media benefit from covering their story, their differences, their moments in the spotlight. Meanwhile, their carefully managed image continues to shift over time. The fallout from the stage clash and subsequent events has pushed their dynamic into uncertain territory. Just like that, what started as a routine speech turned into a public turning point. Meghan stepping onto that stage wasn't just a surprise entrance. It was a revelation.
An announcer to let her speak on his behalf. This time he gripped that mic tighter than ever. It might sound trivial, just a husband not sharing.
the silence from the crowd, Harry's decision not to pass the microphone, and the media adjusting coverage of the footage, all of it pointed to something much larger than one awkward exchange. These were signs that weren't meant to be visible, tensions meant to stay hidden, behind carefully managed appearances and coordinated photo opportunities. If things get this charged with cameras rolling, thousands of people present and media documenting every second.
Hesitant. It was the kind of moment that wasn't loud, but spoke volumes. Harry, who normally...
Imagine what's happening behind palace walls. The private conversations, the disagreements over their children's future, the dynamics that play out away from any spotlight. The stage incident was just the visible tip of a situation that's been building for months, maybe years. This story is just getting started. That decision not to pass the mic became a symbol of their carefully crafted image, beginning to reveal complexity. The perfect unity they've tried to project, the coordinated messaging, the picture of a couple standing together.
He turns his head just enough to acknowledge her, but this time he doesn't hand over the microphone.
Now, Harry has full control of the mic. When Meghan...
All of it is showing signs of tension. And the more you look at the details, the clearer it becomes this isn't just about royal drama. It's about two people navigating a complicated situation, positioned between different worlds, different expectations, and increasingly distinct visions for their future. So, what do you think is really going on here? Are there differences becoming more apparent? Is this the beginning of something even more substantial? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this deep dive interesting, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. There's so much more to uncover, and we're going to keep following every development as it unfolds. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss what comes next. Because trust me, this is far from over.